In the previous video, I spoke to you about the role of integrity in success. Now, we're going to go deeper into what is integrity. I went hunting for a couple of definitions, but the best one that I found, and the simplest one indeed, was in the Cambridge Dictionary that described it in terms of both honesty and being whole. And here is what they said that it is the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles that you refuse to change, and it is the quality of being whole and complete. Now, the best way for me to describe this quality is the story of the emperor and the seeds. Now, this is a Chinese fable, but it has a very valuable lesson about integrity. Once upon a time, there was a Chinese emperor who gathered the youths in his palace, and he told them that one of you will replace me as the emperor one day. And the way to go about it was that he was going to give them all a pot of seeds and to see which one grew them the best. Now, one little boy was very excited and he brought home his pot of seeds and he watered them, he nurtured them, but nothing happened. So he said, okay, maybe these are slow growing seeds and I shall wait. And he continued nurturing and tending to them. And a whole 1 year went by and there was nothing to show for all of his efforts. And when the day came to go to see the emperor, he was very crestfallen, but he went with his seeds and the pot, and I mean, of course, there was no plant in it. All the other boys had plants, and they were laughing at him, and he felt so embarrassed that he went and he stood at the back of the room so that nobody would see him. But then the emperor called out to him and asked him to come forward, and saw the plantless pot, and he said, "You are going to be the emperor." And you know why? Because he had set a test of integrity for all of these young men. And he had actually put boiled seeds inside those pots. So there was no way that it was going to actually germinate into a plant. And the story here is an important one. And what it basically is telling you, stay in integrity and do not fudge with the results, in order to make it favorable, because you will be caught lying, and that is never a good thing. A point to note is that we can achieve integrity through a collection of values that preserves our moral principles. It involves holding a profound sense of right and wrong according to your distinct set of core values and aligning with those values. And at the heart of integrity is sticking to your ethical and moral principles in all areas of your life. Now, if that little boy decided to do it, then why can't we? So, in other words, integrity is amongst the most valuable characteristics, and people look for it in others. It is an unwavering and firm devotion to ethical and moral conduct, a person with an enviable moral commitment, honesty, and readiness to do what is right, and doing what is right without being influenced by the situation, people, or even your own feelings, like the way that little boy in the fable did. And it also involves being empathic, considerate, and honest to the perspective and lives of others. It involves standing up for your ideas and perspectives in a kind, professional, and respectful way. And it isn't just in fables and fairy tales, because the survey was done by Michael Page, where they polled 100 working class adults of over 35 to find out the character that they believed was the most important in their co workers and leaders. And not surprisingly, more than 80 of the people surveyed placed integrity amongst the top three characters, while everyone else listed it amongst their top five desired characteristics. So, without a doubt, integrity is a profoundly sought after quality. After all, wouldn't everybody love their co workers to be honest, trustworthy, considerate, empathic, and kind? In fact, a business or a company which is staffed by people with integrity is much more likely to achieve great success. Integrity is essential for achieving long term and sustainable business and personal success and growth, which is why many companies actually encourage their staff to show integrity. They also have various value statements and all. And whistleblowers are often those who point out that something is out of integrity or action has been taken which is harmful to the business. And a workplace or social circle becomes even more productive and enjoyable when every member acts with integrity. And this is because every member feels respected and supported by others. So, Another thing to remember is that real integrity is doing the right thing, knowing that nobody's going to, whether anybody finds out or not. And this quote from Oprah Winfrey is an important one. You're going to see it being repeated in theme throughout the series. And another example that I can give you is from my own experience. Many years ago, when I lived in Copenhagen, I had gone to the post office to send an important document to London. And the post office lady, she gave me back some change for my notes. And I started counting and I said that she's given me back too much. Now, I could have walked away with the extra money, but it would have affected her salary and she would have had to have done the balancing. So I came back and I told her that you have paid me in excess. And when she realized her mistake, you should have seen the smile on her face. She was grateful that I had pointed out the error and she gave me back the correct amount of change and she took back the excess. That is integrity. I could easily have walked away and nobody would have known. On the other hand, I remember a few years back, the bank teller at my local bank was a little upset, and I asked her what was wrong. And I've been seeing her for so many years that I knew something was off. And she said that the previous day she had paid somebody an excess of 10,000 rupees, and they never came back to tell her, and she had to actually make the balance whole again because in banks they balance the books every day. And I simply thought, what kind of a person is that? That is a sign of lacking integrity because this lady didn't even know who she had given the money to because there are so many customers every day. So make sure that you do the right thing even when you know that nobody's looking. And practicing integrity is easy to learn. It can be difficult to stick to it all the time. But if you stay committed and take small steps every day, you too can have a commitment to a life of integrity. And being a person of integrity will have an amazing and profound impact, not only on your personal life, but also on every other aspect of your life as well. And when somebody has integrity, they demonstrate ethical principles and sound morals, which is what the bank customer didn't do. They strive to do what is right, no matter the situation, who's watching, or even how they feel. It is a foundation on which good relationships are built. And integrity encourages trust and is a fundamental and value people look for in the beginning of any sort of relationship, whether it is personal or professional. So, for the few more stats, there's another research that put it among the top 5 values that employers look for when hiring. And people searching for a romantic partner also hold integrity in high regard and look for it in their potential partners. So, integrity is not just for the workplace, it's also in your personal life. It is a core quality required for a happy and successful life. It is the single most valuable character a person can develop to remarkably enhance all parts of their lives. And when you decide to be a person of integrity and then commit to it, you will have taken the first step to a much more successful life. Now, I can give you 3 more good reasons why integrity is so important. When you're compromising your morals to succeed or feel like you belong to belong can be incredibly exhausting. But when you live a life of integrity, you're truthful and clear, and it gives you peace of mind because you don't have to remember everything that you've been any lies you've been telling or trying to be who you aren't. It also builds self trust because when you can trust yourself, it is easier for you to be trustworthy of others. You know that you will not do the wrong thing at any point. And on top of it, we build better relationships because everybody wants to be associated with an honest person of integrity with high values or high core values or common matching values. Nobody likes people who are dishonest. So, this was a long session, but next time, I'm going to share with you the attributes of integrity and how you can strengthen it. This is Vatsala Shukla for Karmic Coaching, signing off. Bye for now.